This year's Live Challenge question for me is about recognizing the foundational shifts we're seeing in terms of our material, energy, and land use frameworks, and how constraints to some of those systems are going to shape both the innovation spaces and also what is our provision for justice into those frameworks. And it's looking at material zero futures or material constraint systems and futures which have those material constraints and what they mean for our cities, how we provide spatial justice, what that means for the development of our places in the global north. Because what we're seeing is increasingly our policy landscape not able to deal with the dichotomies. So on one hand, we require new homes to be built, 300,000 homes to be built in the UK alone. At the same time, we don't have the carbon budgets to build them. And so what we're seeing is foundational issues, foundational constraints starting to limit and transform our policy landscape and what is acceptable, predictable policy landscapes. So unless we can reimagine our world, recognizing these constraints and our pathways to reimagining how we provide spatial justice and other frameworks, we've got a policy landscape that doesn't work. I think we're looking at a structural transformation in our relationship of our material economy, moving it to circularity, reducing our material economy, reducing it, making it circular, driving it towards biomaterial, and also building a new intangibles economy. These are fundamental transitions. So just to give you a quantum, the average Swede consumes 27 tons of matter. The global average is 2. So how do we dematerialize our economies from a global north perspective to build the headroom and the capacity for the development of the global south is critical. So these transitions are really critical transformations, and I think they'll transform everything about how we live and what we value. I think the critical role that Foresight can play in these transformations is building the public conversation. It's no longer sufficient for Foresight to work only at the lens of informing a report for somebody else. Foresight has to be a framework for building the public conversation. It is the foresight of society that's required, not the foresight of leadership. Second, it's really critical for Foresight to bridge across multiple departmental silos. Foresight is the function of the entanglement of issues, not divisional idea of those issues. And that entanglement means that you have to be able to work across departments. So if we can do those two things, they become really critical.